Hello and welcome to a new backcountry snowpack summary for the North Shore Mountains on Friday, December 17, 2021. It's been a super snowy week. Last time we talked, the storm was just moving in. That first storm last weekend left 40 centimeters of snow on the ground. On the North Shore, it actually warmed up to mountaintop, and we did get a small avalanche cycle overnight between Friday and Saturday of the size 1, with crowns about 20 centimeters deep. And then it continued to snow just by a little increment essentially all week. So the bottom line is the surface that we had last week, which was a crust, is now buried under 80 to 90 centimeters of new snow. This new snow is settling quite nicely on the North Shore, but as you move towards the Sea to Sky area, what we have is an early December crust that has some facets on top and has been producing some very large avalanches this week. So it's sort of the talk of the town right now, what's happening with that early December crust and those near misses that happen around the Whistler area. So we're doing things a little bit differently this week. We actually did a snow profile yesterday on the North Shore near Grouse Mountain. We'll start by looking at that. And then, clearly the snowpack on the North Shore and the Sea to Sky are quite different, and there's got to be a transition where that persistent weak layer starts to happen. So the idea today was to come in the Sky Pilot area, which is still in the inlet zone, sort of the northern edge of the South Coast area, and get a feel for snowpack, whether it's a little bit closer to what we find on the North Shore or if it's a little closer to what we find in Whistler with that persistent weak layer. So we chose a profile site on a west aspect, just around 1,200 meter of elevation. And what a difference a week makes. So last week when we talked, we're all the way down here in the snowpack. So this is the snow that fell during the storm that came in last Friday and into Saturday. As expected, as that snow fell, it warmed up a little bit, and then we had this crust forming on the surface, and we did get a small avalanche cycle during that storm. During the night when it warmed up, we had natural avalanches running pretty small, about 20-25 centimeter crown, all size 1. And so this here is the snow that fell this week. So after the storm, it just didn't stop snowing. It never dumped like huge amounts all at once, but it kept snowing and snowing and snowing. And so what we have here is quite a bit of storm snow. So our crust from last week is at this profile site here, 85 centimeters down. And ultimately, all of this new snow is actually settling quite nicely. So having incremental loading like this, regular episodes of a little bit of snow, actually generally leads to pretty solid condition. So when we test this storm snow, we don't actually really get much result, not on the crust, not on any of the storm interface, and not anymore all the way down here on December 9th and December 4th. So things are looking good. With all of this new snow, of course, more and more of the terrain is now reaching threshold. So I would say that now we're in full-on avalanche season. Here on a east aspect, about 1,500 meters, just a little bit above. And so what we see here is that we do have those early December crusts. I haven't really been in this snowpack actually previously, so I'm not really able to tell whether or not this is December 9th like we have on the North Shore, or if it's December 1st. But ultimately what really matters is the nature of that interface. So we have the snow of this week. Down here we have a pretty obvious grapple layer, so those little ball bearing looking snow crystal. And the storm snow and the snow from last weekend is actually fairly well settled. We don't really get too many results as we're testing that snow. However, up here in this profile side, that interface with the crust, which was actually just underneath. So when you get down around 95 centimeters here, you have a number of crusts that are all laminated with a little bit of faceting happening. There's that weak snow underneath here, and that produces some very definitive snowpack result. This is a weak interface. How long is it going to take before it heals is a little bit anyone's guess. Also, you know, we do have another storm coming. We lost our visibility quite rapidly here. This new snow that is coming, apparently a substantial amount, is going to fall on the way up. We could find surface hoar around tree line in a lot of areas. So the interface between the snow that's coming and what's on the surface is going to be questionable, and also whether or not the interface all the way down a meter deep is able to tolerate that load. So as usual, you know, stay tuned to avalanche.ca for the hazard rating. Tomorrow is probably going to be a very interesting day, and certainly a good day to stay away from avalanche terrain. So stay safe out there, and we'll see you next week.